Hello, ladies, and welcome to Her Business Coffee Talk. If you're ready to scale your business globally, but English might be holding you back, you're in the right place. My name is Nina, and I will be your host today, and I'm so excited to introduce my guest, Brana Majstorović. Brano, welcome to Coffee Talk.
Hello to everybody.
How are you doing today?
Here.
Thank you.
I'm doing, sorry. I'm doing fine. I am currently in Nanjing, China. So on the other side of the world, it's 3 p.m. here, and I'm enjoying the city with my family. And I just took a break to do this interview with you or do this podcast with you. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you so much for joining us and choosing to talk to me instead of being with your family. It means a lot. So you said you are in China. You live in Australia, China, Serbia. So maybe we can start with that, like moving all over the world, living abroad. What does it look like?
Okay. So I can start with I went to Australia. I lived in Australia when I was a kid. So in my pre-teenage and teenage years, because my parents worked in the Yugoslav consulate at that time in Perth, Western Australia. And that is actually where I learned to speak English. When I came to Australia, I could only say a few sentences because I was in third grade then in Serbia, and we just started learning English. So the only thing I could say was, this is a flag, this is a Yugoslav flag, this is a star, this is a red star. So if there are any older people, older, more mature women among us, they will remember these textbooks from English textbooks for third grade. A long time ago. So I actually managed to learn English in less than 3 months. I went to a specialized school for learning English, and then I was transferred to a regular school. And I finished primary school and started high school in Australia. Then I moved back to Serbia and attended the 8th gymnasium. Now it's the 3rd. And after high school, I decided to study Chinese. Chinese language brought me to China in 1998. And China was a totally different country back then. It was gray. It was quite poor. It was very limited. And when I came back to China in 2018, it was a totally different story. So basically, I learned, I was fortunate enough to learn English in Australia, so from English speakers, native. And it has helped me so much in my career, in my life, in the opportunities that I have had.
And you studied Chinese, but then corporation, right? And after that, you left corporation and started your own business. So
Yes.
maybe you can tell me about the switch.
I studied Chinese, and for a few years after I finished university, I worked as a translator. At that time, a lot of Chinese people were coming to Serbia, and they needed a lot of translating. But at some point in time, I decided that I had something to say, and I didn't want to just keep on translating other people's words. And I was a very bad translator because I had the tendency to take over conversations between people. So I decided to switch careers, and I switched into marketing, which might have been by fluke or chance, because the position that I actually applied for was procurement. So junior procurement manager at F.S. Wyford Brewery in 2006, I think it was, when F.S. bought the Pančevo brewery. And they established their own operations here. But when I went on a interview with the HR hiring manager, they told me that I was not a good fit for procurement because I was just too dynamic, and I would get bored with the position very quickly. And they offered me a junior brand manager's position, and that's how my career started in marketing. From there on, I proceeded to work in British American Tobacco. Then after that, in a marketing agency, which worked with Bambi and worked with a couple of banks. And then I worked in Generali Insurance.
So a big mix of industries, as I can
Yes.
hear. And in one moment, you just decided to leave it, like to start your own business, or it was more like a process.
Well, I got into coaching first as a client because I realized that I reached the peak of my potential with my knowledge and the way how I saw the world, or with my perception. But then I just couldn't make the next step. I was in the middle management, and I really wanted to step up into the top management role. And that's when I discovered coaching. I first used it as a client, or I went to coaching sessions, and it gave me great results. And then I thought, well, this would be great for my teams as well. I could start, if I could get to know coaching better or become a coach, maybe this will give me more knowledge and leverage to sort of stimulate and support the potential of my team members. And it did. It really helped me. It helped my team. It helped the results that we had. And slowly but surely, I sort of realized that my passion was not in marketing anymore. It was not in sales anymore. It was more in supporting people to actually realize their potential, or to reach the standards that they have set for themselves, and to achieve the goals that they wanted for themselves. So to overcome the limiting beliefs on one hand, and to overcome the bad habits or the limiting habits that they might have developed throughout the years. And slowly but surely, I sort of transitioned from the corporate world into entrepreneurship.
And can you tell us one sentence pitch about what you do now?
Well, I am a business and management coach and an NLP trainer. I help people set goals and achieve them by overcoming their glass ceiling or their limiting beliefs.
Let's talk more about limiting beliefs. In the last few years, I realized that I have so many limiting beliefs, like from previous generations, from my ancestors, from my childhood. And every time when I talk to my friends, especially business women, it's always related to your success, your money, what is possible for you. So can you tell us more how to deal with that, and how to unleash our potential?
Of course, a lot of beliefs that we have, or our core beliefs, are the beliefs that we never question. So it's something that we hold so true, and we actually do believe that they are the only possible way. But from my experience, having the opportunity to live all over the world or in different cultures, I have actually realized that what seems true to me does not is not necessarily true to everybody else. So the best way to tamper with limiting beliefs is to question them, to sort of to ask ourselves, well, is this really true? when we tell ourselves, I can use maybe an example because I studied Chinese language and literature, and I lived in China 20 years ago or 25 years ago, and I worked as a Chinese translator for a couple of years. I was very embarrassed. I was very embarrassed when I came back to China in 2018, and my Chinese was really, really bad because I haven't spoken it for over 15 years, and I have not had contact with Chinese people for this amount of time. So at that time, I was avoiding to speak Chinese to people because I was ashamed to be holding a diploma of someone that speaks Chinese or a university graduate of Chinese language and literature, but actually to be limited in my vocabulary or the fluency of my Chinese. And then I asked myself, well, okay, do you want to stay in this limiting belief that it is an embarrassment? Do these people know that you hold a diploma in Chinese language and literature? They really don't. And do you need to tell them this? And I thought, well, I don't. So how about you just go around and speak the limited words that you still do remember and see where it takes you from there. And then when I sort of uh, said to myself, speak freely. This is the third language that you have learned and that you can speak or you can understand. And these people that you're speaking to, they can maybe just speak one or two languages, or maybe they can speak more, but it's an added value for you because it's not your native tongue and it's not even the second language that you learned, but the third. That gave me the freedom to start speaking Chinese to Chinese people, and it has made me over the years fluent again. So the first thing that we can do without limiting beliefs is ask question A, is it serving me? Is this limiting belief serving me? Is it helping me reach my potential? Is it making my life better? Is it making my life easier? If the answer is no, we can ask ourselves, okay, so what is true about this belief? Where do I find evidence that actually prove what I choose to believe? And believe me, you will find evidence to the contrary as well. And that's the third thing. So what is the evidence that my belief is not true? Do I know anyone that does not live by these rules or does not believe this or has better results? What do they believe? And what belief could serve me right now? Because our beliefs are like programs. It's like trying to use Windows, 7 in 2025. It just doesn't function anymore. It's like trying to use a map of Belgrade, for example, or the map of Europe from 1970s. A lot has changed in the meanwhile. So we need to update our maps. And in order to update our internal maps, we need to update our limiting beliefs. So maybe something was limiting for me when I was a child or when I was a teenager, or maybe it was limiting to me when I was in my 20s. But maybe today it's not limiting for me anymore. I can choose to believe something else because the world is what I believe it is, if it makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense. And now I'm thinking how to even recognize is there like a pattern or something that could help us realize that this is a limiting belief, because many people don't even know that it's actually all about it.
Okay, so the best way to realize what our limiting beliefs are is to look at the areas of our lives where we don't have the results that we want. So, for example, if I look at my relationships or my romantic relationships and I think, oh, well, I seem to be dating the same person over and over again. It just has a different head and different body. But, there is a pattern there. Then the question I ask myself would be, is what do I believe is possible for me what do I believe about love? What do I believe about relationships? What do I believe about marriage? Or what do I believe about men, for example? The same is in career. If I am stuck in one position, or I'm not earning enough money, or I'm not progressing fast enough, or, I don't have the results that I want for myself, it is always back to what do I believe about myself as a businesswoman? What do I believe about business as a category? What do I believe is possible for me? How much do I believe can I earn? So, and often if we're thinking logically, I mean, our limiting beliefs have nothing to do with the logic. So logically, we know we have the potential. We know that we can, for example, earn much more. But when we ask ourselves, okay, but what do I really believe about that? What will happen if I start earning twice as much? How will my life look like if I advance in my career? So what will happen if I become a director, or what will happen if my business scales to $1 million or euros in the next 2 years? What will happen with my life? How will my life look like? And then usually, if the beliefs are not limiting, we will get excited. But if they are limiting beliefs, we will get scared, and we will start thinking, oh, well, I'll lose my friends, or nothing will be the same, or, I'll have a lot of work to do and I will be too busy. I will lose my family, or whatever the belief is behind the fear. And that's that's what we start with. Those are the top limiting beliefs. And then we dig deeper, deeper and deeper.
And here is where you come and do your magic.
So the thing is, the deepest limiting beliefs are usually so evident to us and so true to us that it's like believing that we need to breathe to live. So if you have a chance or you have an opportunity, it's always good to work with someone on the limiting beliefs, because people, especially coaches, will ask you the questions that will open new perspectives for you. So, because the mind that has created the problem can't always find the solution for the problem by itself, because the pattern is already there and it always runs the same pattern. So the top limiting beliefs are easy, but we can uncover them by asking, so what do I believe about this? But then how to transform them. It's always good to work with someone who can help you transform the belief.
And what's one thing you would like more people to know about working with a coach or a therapist?
I would like people to know that it's transformational, that it can really help you get from point A, from where you are now to where you want to be, much quicker. You will save time and you will save money in the long run. And it is, I think, essential for people that want to go places, and that are that are aware that that there are some things that are holding them back.
For example, this is me, I remember when I first did just the exercise with some bigger amount, and like how would you spend that money, and I didn't know what to do. I only wanted to buy educations and maybe to travel, because I used to live in Vietnam, and like, okay, I like Southeast Asia, maybe Latin America, but nothing else, like it's not possible. And it was, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And
Yeah,
it can be really scary. And what you said, like, instead of being excited about the future and what like big success will bring you, you get scared, like you're afraid of being successful.
exactly. And I think that what is not talked enough about is the fear of success. So we talk about fear of being unsuccessful or failing. So the fear of failing is not as big as fear of success. And a lot of successful people or people that have high potential actually have the fear of what will happen to my life if I become really success, if I realize if I scale my potential to the highest level, my life will not be the same. And that fear tends to hold us back, because the brain likes familiar. The brain likes the comfort zone. It likes to be there. It likes to know what is to come. And being successful for a lot of us, especially in business, is a step out of the comfort zone, because we come from, usually, I mean, I come from a family that worked as my both parents worked as government officials. So for me, entrepreneurship is a totally new dimension. And having stepped out, I'm in constant fear of what's coming next. And I'm constantly working with my limiting beliefs and discovering the new ones, the limited belief behind the limited belief, in order to scale my business.
I'm trying to do the same. Yeah, but it's like constant work. There is no end to that.
Yeah.
And now you mentioned comfort zone, and this is actually my final question for today.
Mhm.
So, if women who are listening to us want to leave their comfort zone, I mean, it's a big statement. Like it means something else for everybody. But how should they start? What should they do? And what does it even mean, that comfort zone, in this coaching world related to limiting beliefs?
Well, the comfort zone is the zone where it doesn't take a lot of, it's familiar, it's comfortable. We know what we can expect. And it usually means that we are stuck. So if you feel stuck in any segment of your life, if you feel that everything's familiar, if you're a little bit bored, if you're asking yourself, is this it? At a certain age, women tend to, look around themselves and ask themselves, so, okay, is this it? I have a family, I have a job, or I have a career, or I have a business. And, you know, is is this what life is all about? You have everything, or you have most things you dreamed about in your 20s, but you feel unfulfilled. You feel like there's no excitement. So men go into the midlife crisis, and women start working on themselves. So this is if you feel that you're stuck, or you feel that you're too comfortable and there is no everything's foreseen, this is your comfort zone, and stepping out of it is scary. But I tend to say that everything worthwhile is on the other side of fear. So once we overcome the fear, we actually come to greatness in one way or the other. So it only takes a step. And what I can guarantee is that 99% of things that you are scared of will never happen.
Brano, thank you so much for this business coffee talk. I really enjoyed it, and I'm sure that our listeners will too. Ladies, that's it for today. Thank you too for listening our episode. And don't be shy. Check out our Instagram page, Her Business Coffee Talk, where we can help you grow your business and boost your English speaking skills. Until the next episode, let's coffee talk.
Thank you, Nina.